save this country yet. Let's expand this conversation with Indiana Senator Mike Braun. Senator, good to see you again, sir. President Trump's dominating performance sent a clear signal. Any Republican who's seen as aiding and abetting the Democrats' destructive, deadly, and anti-American policies needs to be looking for another job. Anyone with two brain cells, Senator, can see that it's no longer the party of JFK or even Bill Clinton. Why do so few in leadership in the Republican Party recognize the threat this current Democrat Party poses to our nation?
You know, I've been here a little over 5 years, and here's my theory on how that happens. Beyond the fact that still some Republicans are for earmarks. They are for things they like, even if they aren't paid for. So it gets down to the way we've evolved over 3 or 4 decades. If you think about it, we didn't start really running deficits of any extent until probably around the year 2000, when we put 2 credit cards on, or 2 wars on the credit card. And then after that, you had the Obama administration. And now it's gotten to a point where it's all done in the bartering system of you give me what we want, we do the same. I call it the unholy alliance. And it's generally around, I think that's most important for conservatives would be defense, but not when you roll over and then abdicate everything you are about being a fiscal conservative. It's the unholy alliance that has driven that dynamic to where now we're borrowing $1 trillion every 6 months. It used to be annually. And really Republicans that call themselves fiscal conservatives, there are always 10 to 15 of them that go with all of the Democrats. So it's not hard to see the dynamic. That's got to change.
Yeah, and our people pay the price for all that. Speaking of the filthy, disgusting practice of earmarking, Senator, the government has grown beyond the consent of the governed. It's too big. It spends too much of our money. And Congress can't even perform their constitutionally mandated duty of oversight and passing a real budget. Congress agreeing to another fake budget deal in a series of 6 omnibus bills, not the required 12 appropriation bills. The American people go to work every single day and do their jobs, yet Congress refuses to work for a living and do theirs. Senator, why should taxpayers give this untrustworthy Congress 1 red cent if they can't even do half of their job?
They shouldn't, and you're going to need to sooner or later enforce that through term limits and a balanced budget amendment here. Sadly, everybody campaigns on that. They have amnesia once they get here. Some point, those would be the guardrails. In the meantime, it'll be the old system, and I've called it analogous to going through a Chapter 11 in the real world. You spend way more than you take in, you exhaust your credit lines, you get a year or 2 to get your act in order in a business, otherwise you're on the ash heap. Most state governments have to stick within the guardrails of discipline. Here, that's not the case. So no, we should give no more money to this place. And I've done simple things like you don't get a budget done on time, you don't get a paycheck. Can't shut the government down. They use that to back us into a corner. And Chris, what we're talking about now should have been done as of last September 30th. So we didn't do anything in fiscal 23, and now we're struggling to do any of the mechanics for fiscal 24. Bad business plan, borrowing from our kids and grandkids. That old guard's got to get out. We need to replace it.
Yeah, and folks, just not to put too fine a point on this, but Congress chooses not to do work for a living, and we all have to pay. You get how it works? Senator, there seems to be an urgency, it has me scratching my head, to send a whole bunch, billions of dollars overseas for overseas adventurism. But when it comes to protecting our people, Congress couldn't care less, it seems. As a result of the Biden congressionally caused crisis at our southern border, the FBI is telling our law enforcement that a terrorist attack on our nation is imminent. Listen.
There's thousands of people here from other countries, 160 different countries. They're here not to be our friends. Some of them are coming because they're wanting to come here to the best country in the world, the way we see it. Some are coming here to do harm to us. And we were told by the FBI director, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Senator, do you have any reason to believe that the sheriff there of Butler County, Ohio, was lying about what the FBI director said to him about an imminent terrorist attack? And if the sheriff isn't lying, how can the U.S. Congress, in good conscience, send billions of dollars overseas for wars over there and leave our own people unsecured?
I mean, everything he said was the absolute truth. And to put some perspective on it, I was there shortly after Biden got elected, down at the Del Rio area where a lot of it was coming through. Trump had it to 15 to 20,000 per month. It had already ticked up to 30, 40, 50,000. And recently it's been 200 to 300,000. And the key thing he mentioned, 160 nationalities, that's about every country, number one. That was just 50 nationalities in 21. And the new thing, gotaways, these are people that do not want to greet the Border Patrol, and they've been pouring in at the 50, 60,000 a month for over a year. Yes, something is brewing out there. It's a question of when and how horrific it'll be. The other countries see this. They're flying into Mexico City with suitcases and coming across the border. Shameful. Biden had the same legislative template that Trump had. He undid everything solely on his shoulders and Mayorkas. And this, you don't need to do anything other than enforce the law like Trump did. We better litigate that, hold them accountable, because it's a travesty what's occurred.
Yeah, and those who put these policies in place and those who voted to fund these policies, when the terrorist attack happens, that's what imminent means, folks. I mean, it's not a matter of if, but when it's going to happen. However many Americans pay with their lives, we know who to blame, our own government. Senator, as you know, many of your Senate colleagues voted to fund the Democrats' illegal immigration campaign. Look at what the Biden regime is doing with all that money that Mitch McConnell and John Cornyn, your colleagues, and others gave them. Reports confirm the regime is transporting illegal aliens on secret flights to the United States. A FOIA lawsuit against Biden's immigration agencies reportedly reveals the Border Patrol is refusing to disclose the location of these over 300,000 illegal aliens. Tell me, does your office know who these illegal aliens are? Why did Joe Biden and his Democrats bring them here on flights? And is this even legal?
It's not legal. We don't know about it. That just broke recently. And calculate the cost of a plane ticket, even with a frequent flyer discount, of what that just costs the U.S. I mean, it's hard, can't even make up this stuff. And this drops, and they think they're going to be able to do fake stuff, like say that we voted against an immigration reform bill that would have baselined illegal immigration 8 to 10 times where Trump had it. They cannot get by with that stuff. I hope my fellow Republicans articulate this or loud about it. You keep doing it. This should just be the icing on the cake to get rid of Biden and another even year of him, let alone 4. We need to litigate it well. You do a good job. Some of us do. They think they can get by with anything and then take the narrative back, kind of paper over it, and then something like this comes up. It's shameful.
Sir, it is. And it comes down to the folks who want to put our people first or who don't care about the safety and security of our people. Senator Mike Braun, I'm glad to know that you do care about us.